What's up, guys? I'm Taste, and with me is Wolf.
That was pretty good.
I thought it was going to come out a little bit better. I haven't done my Wolf Pal in a while.
That's all right.
Have you seen that, the shirt that you can buy? I forget what site it's on. It's a shirt of the Howling Wolf.
Yeah.
It's so bad it becomes good. It goes full circle.
I want to have like a shirt that's like that, but for me, but like the moon has a hairstyle, and the wolf's just howling at the moon with the hairstyle. That would be a sick shirt. I would wear that.
I can make you one of those if you want.
Dude, we should do this.
We should
get together on this.
All right. Super against Sue now. Well, we're having that match now.
We are.
Super and Sue.
It's going to be a reality.
It's going to be two tricky names to cast. They sound similar enough. By the way, guys, tell your friends to come tune in here at the GSL Code S at GOMTV.net.
Yeah. Tell them to get in here on the stream. And, it's always better to watch with your friends also. So if you got like a roommate who's never watched Starcraft before, get him in on this, or her.
Maybe if you have a cat, put the cat on your lap and you could pet it for hours. Hours. That cat's going to be so happy.
Even if you have a gerbil, bring the gerbil and put it on your shoulder. Or a parrot. If you have a parrot, sit on your shoulder. You can talk to the parrot because some parrots can.
The parrot could learn how to say GSL Code S. I say that like a million times in a cast.
Yeah, a parrot learns.
If you have a fish, I would feed it right now before the game starts.
Yes, don't forget about that. Also, get your clothes out of the dryer. You forgot about those.
Get a blanket if you're cold. You want to hear a funny story? When I was in 3rd grade, we had these tadpoles in my class. We're going to raise them throughout the year. We're going to raise them into frogs, and it was like we're going to learn about all this. And but it was spring break came up, and I won in a lottery to take the tadpoles home. And my grandmother changed the water in the fish tank, not understanding that you can't just give them tap water, and murdered all of the tadpoles.
That is a tragedy.
And so my mom had to go to the store and buy other tadpoles and con the class.
You conned him?
The teacher now. But that's what happened, man. Tasis was actually a murderer back in 3rd grade, murdering the entire family.
It was your grandmother. It was
yeah,
her.
But I mean, the responsibility would fall on me, man. The class found out. In the upper right, in the red, we have
MVP Super.
It's getting a little wiggly there.
Yeah, he's adjusting himself in the chair, got uncomfortable.
That's right. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
SK Telecom T1 Sue.
And for him, the frustrating part of this is that he has to play 2 games back-to-back without a rest, but at least it's in the same matchup.
Yeah, that's true. But, you got to keep in mind, Super did watch how he played against Younghwa. I'm sure Super's thinking, Larry, this guy wants to go to, max out and run me over.
Yeah, he wants to just hit that 200 as fast as possible. Run over. Some of these Kespa Zergs are just so good at that because of their StarCraft 1 experience to just
they're machines, timing. Man. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well oiled.
It's bananas, Wolf. It's bonkers.
Oh, I thought you were going to spell out bananas like in that song. I was hoping you would make a mistake.
I usually do with stuff like that. It's like I just ask you on camera. I'm like, Wolf, what's 54 plus 21? You're like, oh, please don't answer. Please don't make me do math.
Yeah, 75.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
You should
76. I'm like, Wolf, you're wrong. You have to take your headset off and jump over the rail, try to escape. But you break your legs.
I get a new identity.
That was the last time Wolf was ever on TV. Was when he couldn't do Audition on live television. I'm trying to think of okay, so we've been doing live TV for a while, right?
Yeah.
What is the dumbest thing you said
that is
on
a really
TV?
Hard
because
question.
I mean, the thing is, it's going to happen. Everybody's done it.
Well, for up and downs, I've called a lot of things wrong when I thought that one player was
I mean just something that's just straight up like you. I've even said stuff, and then I'm like, what did I just say? I once said whales are fish, and then as I said it, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like,
I can't correct yourself either.
No, I corrected myself. I'm like, wait a minute, no, they're not. But sometimes you'll say something dumb, you're like, whatever. Sometimes their toasters will say something dumb, and I just give him this look, and he's like,
Well, I don't know that can sometimes happen. Usually when that happens to me, I put it out of my mind, and that's why I'm having trouble recalling right now.
You blocked it out.
Yeah.
The ego is powerful.
It's powerful.
It's powerful.
It never happened.
Yes.
I never said anything dumb on television. That's the thing.
Nope, never happened. Nothing to see here. We got the third hatchery on the way now for Sue. And Super just doing the build that all the Protosses are doing. Gateway into Expand.
Yeah, he's also faced against the just normal third hatchery timing with no gas here.
Yeah.
So it's basically just as standard as it gets. But on this map, you can have two different types of games. One is, of course, different spawning locations where you have to go a little bit further. But at vertical spawns, it's pretty easy to attack your opponent, and we've seen Sue do that a lot. So I wonder how Super's going to change up his game plan here based on what he's seen from Sue, because he just got to sit back and watch the previous Zerg vs. Protoss series.
Yeah, that's very true. Now this map is really interesting. Look at that! Don't fall in there.
Yeah, that's like it's like the elephant graveyard. From
That's like
Lion
the pit.
King.
The pit that when you get uppercutted in Mortal Kombat, I believe you fall in.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Now,
why? I mean, how does that rock formation even exist? Like, how does rocks come out to look like claws like that? That's really weird. That's
actually a very good question. What's up with the weather on this map? That
yeah, it
looks like a dragon's lair or
I'm
something.
gonna need to study the geology of this map. Figure this out.
Now, what is going on here? This map is really interesting because it's got a lot of narrow lanes.
Yeah.
So, Protoss having force field on their side, they can usually zone out an army, even if it is maxed out. So that's one thing to keep in mind that Sue might have to deal with up here against Super.
Yeah, and just trying to check around here. I love the Zerglings on patrol, covering up the watchtowers, but the Mothership Core is there as well to intercept. And he may even be able to save that probe. He's in the Mothership Core. He's going to go for it. Nice.
Nice. The Ling getting driven. Oh, actually getting picked off now. So the Ling still, the probe rather, still has free reign of the map. And that's one of the great things you can use with the Mothership Core. We don't quite see that enough.
Yeah.
Just using that to cover for the scouting probe.
And he's actually only made one Phoenix here, and he's not showing anything else making him
Now, let's see if he starts again in a little bit here.
As soon as the Overlord's dead, he restarts Phoenix production. So he's trying to mislead Sue a little bit here because he's.
Honestly, I don't know if that's that's a good strat. I don't know who gets one Phoenix is like, nah, that's my strat is one Phoenix. I'm not going to get hallucinate. I'm going to tech up the Stargate. So I don't know how fooled right now Sue is going to be.
The only concern I guess he might have is, are there going to be Void Rays coming
That's
next?
True. But if he's going to do that, I would just make a Void Ray and then when he leaves, cancel it and keep making Phoenixes. I guess. I don't know.
It's just a lack of information he has, and he's just going with it.
Yeah. I guess any misinformation is good.
Robotics support bay already on the way here, so Super is just going right into Colossi, just like we saw him do actually against Terran, against Bomber. Really loving to get those out as a good third base taking measure. And if he takes a third base right now, in these positions, he could be able to hold it, depending on how well he controls the map with these Phoenixes, how many overlords can he kill.
Well, you got to keep in mind, Super is someone who really likes Colossi. By the way, a nice harass over here, shaving off just a few drones, but let's also keep in mind this game doesn't look really that much different from what Younghwa did with his harass, and Sue was able to completely run him over.
Yeah.
Trample him.
It was a barrage of Zerg units coming across the map, and we could see something just like that here in this game. The Zerglings are cleaned off of the third base location here by Super, and I think he's just going to go ahead and grab that Nexus here with his Colossi. He really likes to do this in both of these matches.
Well, the thing about Sue is he's been droning pretty hard. So, and the Phoenixes keep Sue droning for longer than normal, so the third base is a little bit easier to get up and running, especially when you look at the sheer size of this map. This map is absolutely...
It's massive.
Massive. It's a huge, huge map. Now he's starting Void Ray production.
I really like this because the Void Ray is going to help him against the Roach push that may follow this up.
Right.
He had his units ready to defend his third. It's very well executed, fast third base by Super. He's got the Colossi coming to support against the Hydras. And, with the Void Rays out too, even Void Rays do okay against Hydralis if you can protect them. So I'm really liking his position here. He's adding a cannon. He just needs to hold on a little bit longer, and this third base is his.
You can see there's it's not clear if Sue really wants to engage or not, or if he just wants to make Super make a few more cannons and then Sue can back off. Sue actually going to get a fourth base now, so I don't think he will attack. That was just him applying pressure. It's funny because usually it's the other way around. It's the Protoss applying the pressure and the and the Zerg is the one getting the defense up, but in this case, it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's kind of been that way today by Su. He just really likes to get those Hydras out, get the Roaches and the Corruptors to support them, and pressure that third base. And history does have a tendency to repeat itself, so we'll see what happens here in this game. Super having 2 Colossi and the Void Ray. This almost looks like Whirlwind from the previous series.
Yeah, he might get another Stargate here if he's going to keep making Void Rays like this. The Void Ray is also very handy against the Corruptors.
Yeah.
He might want to try hiding the Void Rays until the big battle occurs, so that way there's not enough Corruptors to deal.
Incredibly, again, these Pros players are so good at keeping their Phoenixes alive. Not a single unit lost by Super here.
Yeah.
He's lost nothing. Killed 1,000 resources worth of units. Not a single Phoenix lost. A little bit more careful.
13 Roaches on the way here. Now, Zerg's getting close to maxing out, and he may do what he did in some of these other games where he just gets a maxed out army and hits the Protoss, and the Protoss is just vulnerable enough they might not be able to hold down, keep that door locked. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
From this just wave of Zerg units coming in here. And I think that moment's going to be now, 137 to 173.
He's going in here, and there's another Colossus on the way, another Void Ray, both of which are about to finish. Both very critical in holding this push. Another cannon goes up, but the question is it too late? He needs to get the perfect angle with his Corruptors here to make them efficient.
He might be able to do that with his ledge over here.
And he's coming back.
He baited out the Nexus cannon. He may not actually attack into this just yet. He may wait for that to wear off. He's not maxed out yet. Well, as I say that, he gets maxed out, so he is maxed out already.
Yeah, not all his army together quite yet, though.
All right, looks like he wants to come in from this angle here now.
So much Void Ray damage output here on the Corruptors, and the Colossi are just managing to stay alive here. Great force fields. Now he starts to target the Colossi, but the Void Rays just do too much damage here, and the Colossi survive. The Hydras at the back looking a little bit awkward here.
Super looking absolutely fantastic right now. And Su is completely beaten back now. Virtually even supplies. Super may mass up and possibly do a counterattack here.
Yeah, adding gateways right now as we speak. +2 attack is started. Doesn't have Blink yet, so he can't chase with the Blink. Nice counterattack here by Su, but it's a very small group of units, and it's just going to force him to walk back. But he's not going to take any damage here. Even the overcharge pushes this back, and he can catch some more of these reinforcements. Su has to be careful with how he rounds
here. He may even blink on top of this right now.
Blink nearly done here.
Man, he's really getting his money's worth with these Phoenixes here.
Yeah, certainly so.
And it looks like Super's going to continue to crank out more and more and more units. Su is going to be on the defense here. That fourth base is accessible right now to Super.
+2 nearly done. And with +2 and Blink, he could actually try to snipe that fourth base that's a little bit exposed. The angle is always a little bit awkward as a Protoss, because on this map there's so many choke points. The Zerg is a better concave on the other side. It's hard to move forward. Su's trying to stabilize here, and he's doing a decent job of it, but his attack did virtually nothing. He lost all of his Corruptors. The Void Rays just trashed the army on the ground. And charge coming out here for Super is also another indicator. He wants to get maybe some Zealot harassment going on.
And really tight defense so far here from Super. Su, again, has just got this powerhouse macro. By the way, it's going to be a little bit tricky for Su, the next base. Bottom left, presumably.
Yeah.
Not exactly very accessible here. There's a small little bridge over there, but it's going to be a little bit out of the way.
Yeah.
I think for the rest of this game, we're just going to have to see Su attempt to counterattack every time Super tries to move out.
Basically. And
you know, because there's basically two ways to get out of here.
Here's what could happen as well, is Super could take the base that's just north of Su's fourth, and then use that as a fortified position where he can constantly attack from. And that would be the worst case scenario for Su, because if that happens, then the defense of Super is so easy for his fourth while he's also constantly attacking. And it looks, based on that pylon placement, that's exactly what we're going to see. Super's going to take that fourth.
Su is not actually going to counterattack here. Now, this is a tight angle here, not a great surrounding for the Zerg. Let's see what happens.
Oh, the Void Rays here. Not so many of them left, but they're doing a ton of damage. And a Blink on top of the Corruptors. The Colossi really doing their damage here. This looks
Super looking absolutely incredible right now. And the Colossi are actually going to, most of them are going to live through this, it looks like. In fact, it's 4 Colossi, no, 4, yes, excuse me, alive now. I think Super just won this game.
Yeah, these Roaches here, some of them about to pop right underneath fire. And in fact, some of the eggs dying here, you very rarely see a Zerg egg die like that.
Ever.
Yeah. And Sue's basically got a terrible composition now.
Who would have thought that today it's possible that Super would be the first out of this group? If I was a gambling man, I'd be out of money.
Yeah, same here.
Well, he's continuing to push forward. It looks like there's going to be an attempted surround here. Nice job there, blinking back. Again, the Colossi just doing a colossal amount of damage.
Terrible damage.
Terrible damage. And unless you're Protoss, and it's like awesome damage. GG. Wow, really nicely done there by Super.
That was a really well played game by Super. It's like he has Sue's number. It feels really similar to his games against Bomber. He almost plays a style that counteracts his opponent's style just slightly.
Yeah.
You know? And taking that 4th base and attacking in that location was exactly what he needed to do. His early game with his Phoenixes was so flawless, taking that 3rd base, those Colossi out. He took some risks, but it wasn't super risky. You know, he didn't go double forge upgrades.
Yeah. Man, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Super's play. Yeah. I mean, Sue's really good, too. Sue's really solid. But it looks like the style that he's got, this style where you just mass up, get maxed out, and basically hit the Protoss when they're right at about like 130 to 150 supply. Yeah. If they don't have perfect force fields, they lose.
The force field is Super really good. He didn't do that double forge, so he had some extra gas to get those Colossi out, and that's what allowed him to hold here. The next map is going to be Whirlwind, so again, Sue wanting to pick that as his second map.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a good map for Zerg here. So, you know, what does Sue do? This is one of the first maps where I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, I think Super could still win here, even though he's a Protoss, and Sue is this good.
Yeah, he's going to have to... I mean, the thing is, Sue just seems a little predictable here in how he's been playing these games.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Sue mixes it up. Maybe does some kind of cheese or something, or... Yeah, just anything.
Or even trying to go for that Swarm Host type style. It's tough to pull off on Whirlwind, but maybe he's got a plan here.
Yep, we're going to find out soon. The game is now loading up. We're here in Seoul, Korea, where the best players in the world reside to face off in the best tournament ever made in esports, the GSL Codes. Well, I closed that one out pretty fast, huh?
Yeah. You were quick.
I was pretty sure that we were. I had that synced up well. All right, let's go.